The stormy night wrapped the abandoned building in darkness as Owen approached with hesitant steps. He felt the cold air slipping through the broken windows like unseen fingers touching his skin. Every echo inside the hallway sounded like someone whispering directly into his ears. Owen tried to steady his breathing, but the oppressive silence made his chest tighten painfully. The flickering flashlight in his hand illuminated dust swirling like restless spirits around him. He sensed that something in this place watched him with eyes he could not see. The wooden floor creaked gently beneath his feet, as if warning him to turn back quickly. Owen ignored the trembling in his legs and continued deeper toward the sealed storage room. The metallic smell in the air grew stronger, reminding him of old rust mixed with something disturbing. He wondered why this building caused so many people to disappear without leaving any trace. A sudden thud from upstairs made Owen jump as fear crawled up his spine swiftly. He swallowed hard and raised his flashlight toward the staircase covered in thick shadows. The darkness at the top felt alive, pulsing slowly like a creature breathing in silence. Owen forced himself not to run, although every instinct begged him to escape immediately. The corridor stretched endlessly ahead, each door slightly open as if waiting for him. He whispered James Rodriguez's warning in his mind, telling him never to open doors at night. Yet the curiosity burning inside him pushed stronger than the fear restraining his courage. Owen reached the first door and noticed deep scratches carved violently into the wood. He touched the marks gently, feeling the uneven grooves like signs of a desperate struggle. A faint sound came from inside, similar to breathing but colder and far more unnatural. Owen stepped back quickly, realizing something inside the room reacted to his presence. He hurried down the corridor, trying not to look at the shadows stretching unnaturally. The deeper he walked, the heavier the atmosphere became, almost suffocating his thoughts. His mind filled with echoes that did not belong to him, whispering strange warnings repeatedly. The temperature dropped sharply as if he had stepped into a forgotten frozen chamber. Owen tightened his jacket, but the cold seeped directly into his bones mercilessly. A faint blue glow appeared from beneath the final door at the end of the hall. It flickered softly, as though something inside struggled to remain visible. Owen hesitated, remembering the rule of never opening doors after midnight. But he also knew answers waited behind that glow, calling him with silent intensity. He placed his hand on the doorknob, feeling it pulse like a slow heartbeat. The moment he touched it, whispers filled the hallway, warning him to stop immediately. His breath turned shallow, yet his curiosity chained him firmly to the moment. Owen pushed the door slightly, revealing a room covered in frost and shimmering light. The walls were coated with patterns resembling ancient symbols etched by frozen claws. A tall shadow moved in the center, shape distorted like smoke trying to form a body. Owen lifted the flashlight, but the beam bent strangely as if something absorbed its energy. The shadow turned toward him, revealing two glowing eyes radiating cold hatred. Every instinct screamed at Owen to run, but his legs refused to obey him. The creature extended its arms slowly, forming fingers out of swirling icy mist. He felt an invisible force grip his chest, freezing his breath in the air. Owen stepped backward, stumbling onto the cold floor as fear overtook him. The creature moved closer, leaving trails of frost that crawled across the ground. He forced himself to crawl away, but the icy air burned his lungs painfully. A loud crash came from behind, making the creature pause for a brief moment. Owen used that second to pull himself up and run toward the hallway desperately. Every light flickered violently, as if reacting to creature's silent rage. The doors along the corridor slammed shut one after another with thunderous force. Owen reached the stairs and rushed downward, gripping the railing to keep balance. The shadowy presence followed him like a wave of cold air pushing against his back. He heard his distorted breathing, echoing like 1,000 distant storms combined. Owen sprinted toward the main entrance, ignoring the pain in his trembling legs. The front door appeared closer, glowing faintly as though urging him to escape. He reached for the handle, but the metal burned his palm with icy intensity. Owen pushed with all his strength, feeling his heartbeat hammer violently. The door burst open, unleashing a blast of warm air that hit his frozen face. He stumbled outside, collapsing onto the wet ground as a storm raged above him. The creature stopped at the doorway, unable to cross the boundary of the building. It stared at him with hatred, its glowing eyes burning through the darkness. Owen crawled farther away, afraid the creature would break the ancient rule. But instead, it slowly vanished, dissolving into icy mist swallowed by the shadows. Owen gasped for air, realizing how close he had come to disappearing forever. The storm began to calm, leaving the night eerily silent except for his breathing. He looked back at the abandoned building, feeling its darkness watching him. Owen knew that people didn't vanish by accident. Something inside hunted them deliberately. He forced himself to stand, though his legs shook uncontrollably from fear. James Rodriguez's voice echoed in his memory, warning him never to seek forbidden truths. Owen now understood that some secrets were protected by forces older than humanity. He walked away slowly, determined never to return to that cursed structure again. Yet he sensed the creature's cold presence lingering, waiting for him to break another rule. Owen felt the storm clouds gather again, as if responding to the creature's silent hunger. He quickened his pace, trying to escape the overwhelming sense of being followed. Every shadow on the street stretched unnaturally, bending toward him like dark fingers. Owen knew that leaving the building didn't end the nightmare. It only postponed it. The cold in his bones refused to fade, reminding him of the creature's grip. He promised himself he would never open another mysterious door at night again. But deep inside, he feared the creature had marked him permanently that night. Owen kept walking, hoping daylight would wipe away the memories of the darkness. Yet he knew the creature's frozen eyes would haunt him for the rest of his life. And somewhere behind him, the abandoned building waited patiently for his eventual return.